How's it going, everybody? It's me, Chris, over here from 360 Entertainment. I hope you guys are having a great day. We are bringing to you guys a return to something that we haven't been able to do for the last couple of months just because of the chip shortage. We are building live a gaming PC. This is more of a streaming PC setup, so there is no GPU here, as you can see. What you're seeing here is a dedicated streaming PC that's going to be built for my channel, as I've been using for the last couple of months when prices skyrocketed. Miss JD Gamer's gaming PC that I built for her a couple months back that we actually didn't do on stream, it was off stream. Let's go ahead and start building our new streaming PC. Let's go ahead and put this cooler on the side because we're actually going to use a Rave Prism instead of the regular Rave Stealth. And let's go ahead and...
Taste it good in yourself?
You know, wishing prices of GPUs went down again, but they have not at all. Again, what you guys are looking for, you see this little gold dot right here. Let me see if I can focus it in. That little gold triangle has to match a triangle down here, so your CPU goes right in. As you can see, it went in just fine. If I give it a little tug, I know it's nice and snug. Dropping it in, puts it in. We are right now basically done with dropping in your CPU, but we're not done because we still got to put on the cooler. But what we're gonna do next is, where did I put my RAM? I'm gonna go ahead and add our RAM. So on today's build, the RAM we're going to use is some Corsair Vengeance Pro 16 gigs rated at 3200 megahertz. Very, very good RAM. It's actually honestly more of an overkill than anything else. I'm watching Twitch, you can watch YouTube. And if it makes it easier, switch over the screen so you can watch YouTube on that side instead of the other side. So let's go ahead and add the RAM because it is overkill for this build. Slot 1, and then remember to get dual channel, skip one lane and go to the next lane, because again, this is my stream PC. I don't need nothing crazy. We're gonna go ahead and add the Rave Prism AMD cooler. This is legit overkill for this build, to be honest, so I'm adding a much more powerful air cooler than you actually truly need. And as you can see, I kind of tidied it up, made it look nice right there. Drop in, yeah. So, just to show you guys, I'm done building the motherboard area. This is all you basically have done. You don't drop in a GPU even if we are not using one. You don't even drop in a GPU at this point. I'm done basically building on the motherboard, but one thing we do gotta do that I almost forgot about, we're gonna add our 1/2 gig of NVMe SSD. So let's go ahead and drop that in. So this slot right here, I mean, let me try to show it to you guys real quick. This slot right here that you're seeing, that's the NVMe slot. So we're gonna go ahead and add our SSD, as we're going to be running NVMe SSD. This is going to be our main drive. All right, so NVMe SSD has been installed. Just showed you how to do that part. And now we are officially completely done what we needed to do with the motherboard. So I'm gonna make some space on the side where you guys can't see. I'm gonna give you guys a little context. I know my setup is not white and it's mostly black and purple, but I'm gonna use this case because it is a case that I sell with some of the PCs that I do. And I'm going to use this to launch back the SDA 400. That is going to be a dedicated PC that can game at low FPS, and it will also game at least a 1080p 60 frames per second without a GPU. And then when prices finally get back to normal GPUs, we will be able to go ahead and help you guys out in sorting out GPUs when the prices drop. But nonetheless, I want to show off this case because this is what I'm going to be using primarily for that series of builds for the first month or two, and then the next month or two from there, we're going to be changing cases for the SDA 450.
Imagine, if you will, sitting down to your morning coffee, turning on your home computer to read the day's newspaper. Well, it's not as far-fetched as it may seem. In fact, both local San Francisco papers are investing a lot of money to try and get a service just like that started. Science editor Steve Newman reports on one person already using the brand new system.
Let's go ahead and place in the motherboard. Placing in the motherboard. And motherboard is in. So what we're gonna look for right now is to ensure that we have the right placement and we have enough standoff screws where they need to go. So if you notice, I don't know if you guys can see this, here and here we do not have standoff screws, so I need to put in some standoff screws there. So when you take the motherboard back out, put standoff screw there, standoff screw there. So let's go ahead and do that. These are the little standoffs you're gonna need. Gonna just twist it on. Let's go ahead and add the motherboard back into the case. Line it up, and ta-da! Oh, I just noticed only 2 bulbs are working on that fucking thing. But let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna put a screw here, so we can kind of get the X pattern going. Grab our magnetic screwdriver, so if we drop anything, just like I did there, just grab it back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. So now that we kind of have all of that done, what we need to do is identify where we're going to attach our fans to fan headers. And we got to identify where you have your fan headers. So we have one fan header down here because we're not using any RGB fans on this one. Again, I didn't need to go super crazy with it, so there's no RGB fans. It's really minimalistic of what this PC is doing. So for that case, we don't need the whole light show with this one compared to the original streaming PC that we. So what we're doing first is connecting the fans up. Did I get GPUs? I have GPUs, but I'll be honest with you, it's going for whatever the market price is going for GPUs as of right now. The Mr. Rock 517, little difficulties. USB 3.0. Gotta identify where USB 3.0 is. There it is. Right over here. Now we have USB connected. Now we're gonna add our HD audio interface. It's over here. Check pin. And there's the blank. Grab that. Manage that down there. Wabam. Alright, so now that that's done, this back, actually it doesn't look terrible on how I have things. This hard drive is going to go over here. And just to show you guys, before we're even done with the SDA 450's cable management, this is how your PC in the back should look like. This is not cable managed. It's semi-managed, but it's not cable managed. We still need to route this here. You need to clean this up here, put this away, so on and so forth. So nonetheless, let's go ahead and see if she even turns the fuck on. All right. Are y'all ready to see if it turns on? And it looks like we're booting up fine. That is a clean, modern, modest build. Gotta route this down here. Ow. Ow. Okay, I'll stop.
Guess you didn't learn your lesson the first time.
We got action. So, she's booted up. And that's an easy build. What is left to do from here is basically what this PC is gonna do for the rest of its life until I decide to give it a, GPU. When GPU prices drop, probably drop a GPU. Probably still run on a Ryzen 3 for a long time until I kind of want to say, fuck it, I'll throw a 5600X into it, and I'll throw in like a 3060 into it. So I always have a second PC to rely on if I ever have to step down from my gaming PC. What's the specs on it? So this stream PC is running on a Ryzen 3 3200G dedicated graphics. So this has an integrated graphics. It can actually run games the way that it is at 60 frames per second, 1080p. So this alone on low settings for 1080p will run games. That's not what I built it for. Is for me to use it as stream PC. B550 motherboard. This is your Corsair Vengeance Pro, 16 gigs, 3200 megahertz. And I mean, pretty much that's it. We have a 500 gigabit NVMe SSD there, 500 gigabit hard drive, and ay caramba. But it seems so. So, guys, if this is your first time watching us build a PC, can you guys give us a rate? Because we still gotta finish doing the cable management. But let me know, guys. I'll give you guys like about a minute or two to just kind of look at this. We'll do cable management, and that'll be the end of the building side of the stream.